Hello, welcome to the Yes You May live stream podcast with me, Amanda May Gray, as your host. Today, we're talking all about filtering the feedback. What do I mean by that? You get feedback all the time from peers, from society, from well-meaning people, from mentors. But sometimes you need to put a filter. And by sometimes, I really just mean all the time. You need to understand that not all advice should be kept, should be taken to heart, taken personally. Not all advice is going to be applicable. And sometimes you really just need to trust your own gut and own understanding as to what you're trying to accomplish. It's easy to seek, that permission and seek justification and positive vibes, and then sometimes get back something a little bit different. And then when you get that back, it can be a downward spiral. You can get frustrated and feel like you're not moving in the right direction and feel like you're making the wrong choices. When you get feedback from people, it is very important to reflect on it and think if they know all about what it is you're doing. Maybe you're trying to do something very specific and that wasn't 100% clear. It is so important to know where that other person is coming from when they're giving you advice. It's kind of like finding mentors. One thing I've realized over this past year is that there are different mentors for different seasons of your life, for different aspects of your life. And odds are good, you're probably not just going to have one mentor that you go to for everything. It's unrealistic. They're not living your life and you're not living theirs. But it's important to find the people that have done what you've done or doing what you're doing, or at least have an understanding of where you're trying to go. You don't want to get feedback from a podiatrist about how to be a dentist or from a cat owner on how to make a dog sit. It's probably not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not going to get you where you want to go with that advice. But the same comes for your work, for your dreams, maybe even your relationships. And frankly, sometimes it can be really easy to be on the outside looking in at somebody else's life or situation, business, and say, oh, well, if you fix XYZ, poof, everything would be better. But if you're that person on the other side getting that XYZ, you have to do your own due diligence to hear it, take it in, and then decide that actually you don't need Z, because what you're trying to accomplish, well, that's not applicable. So it's not just about finding one person that knows everything, and it's not just about seeing that some people can give you advice in one area and be very helpful. But that doesn't mean they're going to give you great advice every single time in every area. And what's more important is that you're understanding where you want to go, that you're clear on that bigger picture, and not everybody's going to get it. That's okay. But learning to not take that to heart and take it personally and let you derail your train, that's the most important part. I was hiking with my dog the other day, Summit. His name is Summit, in case you didn't know. And he and I were going along the trail to get to the top of the mountain. And I realized it was difficult. It was humid. We had to climb over rocks. Sometimes it was more flat than others. Sometimes it was very windy and curvy and was unexpected and felt like we just took a turn to go right back around the way we came, and yet it still kept progressing us forward. I had to trust that the path that was laid ahead before me was the right path to get to the top. And so did Summit. Of course, he did. He didn't think about it twice. He was like, yeah, we got to keep going up. Whether that means we got to go around and down and across this little bridge. We're going down a little bit now and then back up and over and around. We eventually made it all the way to the top. And it was amazing. The view was stunning. The clouds had just cleared off and the sun was out and I could see for miles. And we sat on top of this big boulder. Well, he didn't sit very well, but he was there with me panting away because I had to stop him and force him to take a breath because he just wanted to keep going. Not that we could keep going upward, but as I sat there in silence because nobody else but he and I were around, the sun on my face just pouring at me, I was so happy. I felt so accomplished. And I realized that life is like hiking. It's not always going to be a straight, flat railroad path. And even railroad paths have to make bends and turns and go up and down. But you have to trust that the path that you're on, even if it winds, and sometimes it's easier than others, and sometimes it's super difficult, that when you get to the top of that path, when you get to the end, it's going to be beautiful and rewarding and worth it. You have to trust that the journey is not meant to just be easy. And trust that you're going to get setbacks. You're going to get people who are giving you feedback that don't fully understand what's going on, that are on a different path and don't see what you see for the vision. And that it's okay to get that feedback because it means you're doing something. Here's the real secret. If you're getting no feedback at all, it means you're not probably doing too much at all. But when you're getting feedback on both sides, good, bad, sometimes indifferent, that means you're actively taking action towards what you want to do. And sometimes you don't hear much feedback at all. And then later on down the line, you get some feedback about something you did in the past that surprises you. And you're like, where the heck did that come from? Oh, somebody was paying attention? Cool, thanks. Because like I always say, who you inspire is beyond what you know. So take that chance and keep following that path. Even if you trip and scrape a knee or get out of breath, you can always pause, catch your breath, take a deep breath, and then keep moving. Keep going towards the top. It'll be worth it at the top. Last night, I figured out how to accomplish making my own little favicon for my website that I'm working on. And it wasn't easy right away. And it didn't turn out perfect the first time. But I was determined. I was going to figure this out. And after, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 different iterations, I landed on something that I really liked. And when I was done, I was so proud of myself. I had this amazing feeling. Have you ever been there where You have tried to do something and you figured something out because you put your mind to it. You said, I'm just going to figure this out. And when you do, no matter how small it might have been or seemed, it was such a great relief. And you felt so proud of accomplishing that. Remember that feeling. You got it? Each day, I want you to strive to get that feeling, to find one small thing to challenge yourself with and accomplish, and feel really proud about yourself. And don't worry about the feedback from other people. When you lay your head on your pillow at night, relish in that feeling. Don't worry about all the other things that you have to do. Just take in that pride in yourself for accomplishing something. And if you can focus on that feeling just before you go to bed, let go of everything else. Not only will you probably have a better night's sleep, but you'll also start your next day more refreshed. And you won't be focused on the feedback that stalled you out. Because you accomplished one thing that day. You're going to get feedback from all sorts of different places. And it's going to be hard, and you're going to run out of breath, and you're going to have to take a pause. Take it in. Reflect and decide. Am I going to keep going? Am I going to overcome this? Because I'm already down this trail, and frankly, once you start on a hiking trail, you can't just stop, right? If you've ever been hiking, you know, even once you get halfway up the mountain, you can't just decide to hop in your car and be done. You have to make that decision either to continue to the top or you have to decide to walk back down. But either way, you have to keep moving. That's life. Life is about getting all this feedback in, but knowing where your destination is and having a clear understanding that you know it's not going to be easy and some people won't understand. And it's okay. They don't have to. You know. So filter your feedback. Find quality mentors and understand that one person isn't going to have all your answers. And sometimes when you get X, Y, and Z, all you really needed was X and Y. What mountain are you going to climb today? Small, big. And get that pride feeling once you reach the top. And then relish in that right before you go to bed. And say thank you for feedback, good or bad. Because feedback means you're doing something and you're choosing to continue to push forward to the top of your own summit. But maybe not with my dog Summit because he's sleeping on the bed right now. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if this is something that resonates with you, please say something in the comments below. Let me know what you think. If you think this would help somebody else who's struggling and maybe has gotten feedback recently that didn't quite line up with what they wanted. And I appreciate you sticking around this far. And I hope you know I truly appreciate you and your feedback for me. But also understand I might not take it all because I have a clear goal as to where I'm going. It's pretty steep mountain. Most people probably aren't going to understand it, but I'm going to be that fighter that fights to the top. Will you join me? Will you join me and keep pushing forward despite what the path may bring you? Because without challenge, how can you appreciate great reward? I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.